Alrighty, everyone. We are here again for another morning Moto. It is October 14th, 2015. Grab your favorite beverage, coffee, whatever it is appropriate for a time of day. And good morning, cheers from North Carolina. I am still waking up. I'm noticing some new changes here on Blab. The recording is looking a little bit different than before. Remember, we're in beta, so things are always changing and we have to be flexible. So flexible we shall be. So I'm going to just jump right in with our normal morning reading. And typically, as always, by the time I'm done reading, somebody has jumped on and we're going to have some great conversations. It's Wednesday. So you may find yourself a little bit sluggish, a little bit needing a kicking your backside to add some spring in your step. That's what we're here for, to just start our day out feeling great. So today we're going to be talking about a real head start. When you die and are buried with your ancestors, I will raise up one of your descendants, your own offspring, and I will make his kingdom strong. He is the one who will build a house, a temple for my name, and I will secure his royal throne forever. 2 Samuel 7:12-13. Oftentimes you may see further than you're going to go personally. God may put something bigger in you than you can accomplish on your own. Don't be surprised if your children or your grandchildren come along and finish what you started. I heard somebody say, nothing truly great can ever be accomplished in just one lifetime. At that time, I didn't understand that saying because obviously every generation can do something great. But I've learned that sometimes God's plans span more than one generation. Many times I've heard my father say, one day we're going to build an auditorium to hold 20,000 people. One day we're going to have a big place where we can all come together and worship. My father had the vision, but God used his children to complete it. Nevertheless, had he not stayed faithful, had he not stayed determined and kept that excellent spirit, I don't believe the fulfillment would have come to pass. Daddy sowed the seeds, he paved the way, and my family members, as well as millions of other people, have enjoyed the blessings as a result. You may have a big dream in your heart. Keep in mind that God may have put that seed in you to get it started. Your children and your grandchildren may take it further than you ever thought possible. In the Old Testament, King David had a dream to build a permanent temple where God's people could worship. David gathered the supplies, brought in huge cedars from Lebanon, and amassed a fortune in gold and other precious metals. But God never allowed David to build the temple. Instead, God instructed David's son Solomon to construct his house of worship. Keep doing the best. God is still in control. In addition, as you continue sowing seeds and living with excellence, know this: you are making a difference. You are making a difference. In God's perfect timing, the fruit of your labors will be seen. Scripture says that God's people left the land better off than it was when they found it. That should be our goal as well. I'm going to leave my family with more integrity, more joy, more faith, more favor, and more victory. I'm going to leave my loved ones free from bondage and closer to God. Maybe you weren't raised by parents who set you up for success by planting positive characteristics in your family line. Possibly you've inherited attitudes of defeat, mediocrity, addiction, and negativity. But thank God you can start a new family line. You can be the one to set a new standard. Somebody has to be willing to pay the price. Somebody has to step up and clear the leftovers off the table. I like that. Clear those leftovers off the table. Negative things may have been in your bloodline, but they don't have to stay in your bloodline. All it takes is for one person to rise up and start making better choices. Every right choice you make begins to overturn the wrong choices of those who have gone before you. Nobody else may have done so, but if you'll make the positive changes, one day, people in your family line will look back and say, it was because of this man, it was because of this woman. They were the turning point. Be that turning point. We were defeated up till then. We were addicted up to that point. However, look what happened when they came along. Everything changed. We came up higher. What happened? The curse was broken and the blessings began. That's what you can do for your family. So as we look on this Wednesday, we could call it a, it's almost mediocre Wednesday, whining Wednesday. People just seem to hate Wednesday. I think of that camel. It's hump day. You may have a big dream in your heart. God may have put that seed in it to get it started. Again, don't be discouraged. But also I want you to remember, this doesn't mean you get to sit back and do nothing and use this as an excuse. You still have to do your part. You still have to take action, whether you're talking about God, the laws of attraction, source, higher power. I always say, if you look at the laws of, when I think of laws of attraction, I do think it's God. It's just another way of asking God for help. But the last part of the whole laws of attraction is action. You got to do the hustle too. It's not, God's not I'm going to grab a jar here, our mom's best pepper jelly here. But if this was it's not a magic jar, it's not a magic and we just do wishful thinking and hope things are going to happen. So what he's talking about, a lot of it again is that mindset. It's the attitude, breaking the cycle of negativity, of mediocrity, and embracing and teaching, again, it's a lot of learned behaviors. Those new generations, your grandchildren, your children on down are going to be adopting your new mindset because they're observing, and it's going to be powerful. So you have that power. Again, you may not accomplish everything you want. Look at some of the great companies. The first generation started the company. The second, the third took it further. So don't get discouraged. But remember, I like this part. Somebody has to be willing to pay the price. And is it you? Are you willing to work hard? I just got done teaching a class last night. I was telling the story about this girl, this woman, who when I lived in Virginia, you move into a neighborhood and during the day you think it's nice. Then at night, everybody comes home or the riffraff comes out. This whole street was Section 8 housing. I did not know that. And this woman, everybody knew they supposedly did drugs out of their house and all of this and that. And I lived there for about 6 years. I worked at the Pentagon. I'm trying to make the story real short. And excuse me, I'm still waking up too with y'all. Over the course of time, I was in the Marine Corps, worked at the Pentagon. I would leave about 4:30 in the morning. So of course I had to get up before 4:30 to look beautiful to go to work. And I had to be there even when the Pentagon was closed due to snow. I drove a little tiny Ford Escort with front wheel drive. It was paid for. It was an old car, had over 200,000 miles when I finally got rid of it. That baby was the best thing for me. I trust me, God was with me on those roads many a morning. But I had to leave my kids home alone. Couldn't afford daycare. Couldn't find somebody to watch them that early. It's what you do. You just do it. I was also going to college at night. My kids were in every activity. So I was a busy mom. And at one point, she got a job. Our kids were in the same school together, same grade. My youngest, her oldest. And I thought, yay, she got a job. Then a little bit later, she told me she had enrolled in college. And when we were getting ready to leave, to move, relocate, PCS, she asked if she could take me and my kids to dinner. And we went to dinner, and she says, you don't know how you changed my life. And I will always be very grateful for that. She says, you don't know I was watching you. And I had lace curtains. I love Victorian. I had the shades that only worked half the time. So who's looking in my windows, right? Well, she said, I would watch you because I hadn't gone to bed. She says, I would still be up because I had no life watching TV. And I would see the lights come on in your house. I'd see you make the coffee. You'd be maybe moving laundry around and getting ready, and you would go off to work. And I knew you had to be scared leaving the kids home. And I mean, my kids were like kindergarten, first grade, fourth grade. My daughter had a lot of responsibility. She says, and then you would come home, you would quickly make dinner, do whatever, and you'd be out the door again for school. You would come home, and I was doing an accelerated program, so it was like 4 hours a night. And sometimes my classes were back in DC, so I wouldn't get home till like 11 o'clock, 11:15. And she said, you'd be again taking care of what needed taken care of around the house, picking up, and you'd get to bed maybe around midnight. But you were back up by 3:30, 4 o'clock. And she said, one day it just dawned on me that if you could do it, I could do it. She said, and that's when I got the job at the landfill. And she said, and your kids were always so proud that you were going to college. And she says, I finally decided to sign up for college. And I just thought that was so, I mean, it just is remarkable. She says, you just don't realize how much you helped me. But she was breaking that cycle. And I would love to know what she's doing now, because she had another baby when I was there. And it's just, you don't know who's watching you. You don't know that your children, your grandchildren are looking up to you for the attitude, the wisdom, the mindset, how you respond to a situation. Excuse me, whether it's with grace in class or negativity. So good morning, Santana. So be very mindful and be a little bit patient, but you have to have some hustle in the step too. Hustle in the step. So again, today's thought: to become a better you. I'm making life better for my yet to be born great grandchildren. You're breaking that cycle. Jump on board. We're talking about, or I'm talking about, because it's very quiet this morning, about breaking that cycle. And I'm just finished reading from Joel Osteen's Becoming a Better You, on getting our mindset ready for this Wednesday morning. It's morning here, and that's what this show's about, getting ready to have a great day. I'd love to hear where you are, what you're up to. And if you have, again, this is predominantly for business owners, but you don't have to be a business owner. We've had some career people, because I'm a business and career coach. Just, if you got a situation you need to work through, or big meeting today and you want to get pumped up, or some tips on how to approach something, just ask away. That's the fun of this blab. We start out with our morning reading, and then it just kind of takes us where it needs to go. And I'm looking over here at my notes from the other day. We had a fabulous blab on Monday, and the recordings are always available here on replay, but I also have them on my YouTube channel, Coach Janine. If you go over, there's a playlist, Morning Moto, where I put all the blabs, so you could just, I think it just is easier to find some things. Plus, I share them over on Pinterest and on social media. If you're doing blabs, a great way I'm all about repurposing content, and a great way to maximize your time. We had a fabulous blab on Monday. So for my newsletter content this week, guess what? It's my blab. We're going to just use the link to the blab in the body of the newsletter and include a few bullet points from the blab that I want to share. So if somebody's only skimming and wants to read, they've got the main bullet points, because we had some fabulous things on Monday. So that's one way to use these blabs. Put them in your newsletter instead of rewriting. Use the blab. It might, save some time. It's all about, we don't need one more thing on our plate to add to our already full plate. We need to embrace, how can we use blab for our business purposes? And for many, I've had many public speakers, life coaches, again, they jump on board here and they share some really great tips. And then they can take a copy of that, the URL, the YouTube, however you want to, wherever you want to share it. And again, use that as part of your marketing. Let people see who you are. I purposely do not come on here dressed like a beauty queen. Not that I ever would look like one if I wanted to try to be one. But, the whole point of my morning motto is I'm sharing with you my morning routine, which is reading from Joel Osteen to get that mindset going. I'm enjoying my coffee. a lot of times the guests that are on here are early morning too. There's no need to worry about looking beautiful, makeup, or any of that, because we got to go exercise. Exercise is part of, or hopefully part of your routine, to just help with the, you know, you got to get the endorphins going, which are a neurotransmitter, the feel good neurotransmitters. They're almost mimic morphine and cocaine. So they're the natural body's version of cocaine. So to kind of get those endorphins going if you're in a slump. And as a business owner, a good employee, anybody, you know, you can just as a grandparent, you gotta have energy, you gotta fuel the brain, keep it going, keep all the circuits going, the you know, the axons, the dendrites, and get everything on how the brain works. But so you know where I'm going with that. You don't feel like you have to come on here, hop in the seat all looking beautiful. Worrying about it. This is me without my morning makeup. I'm still in my pajamas, drinking coffee, sharing with you my morning routine. Get in the right mindset. I'm kind of driving today. I had a long day yesterday, which I'm not complaining. I'm gearing up, and I'm gearing up how to handle this. I'm gearing up for a very busy time. It's typically a slow time on the business side, so I do a lot of psychology. So I'll be teaching there starting next week, every night, Monday through Thursday, 5 to 8:30 at night. So, you know, by the time I get home at 9, I teach online, so I have grading to do, and plus my business, which is now really good clients. I'm staying very busy, and I teach in the afternoon also. So my day typically starts about 5 o'clock, sometimes a little bit more. Through mid-December, it won't be ending until probably 10 o'clock, if not later. As far as physical, I'm working. That's a lot. And I know that. I know exercise has to be part of my routine, so that I am operating at without a lot of sugar, a lot of junk that just gives that burst of energy. So we got Santana. Jump on board. You want to join us this morning? And click on and see what we see. Now, again, if you're in the lab, he says, what's up, Netflix and chill. He is on Twitter. He is at 9 followers. He's about 5. If you just kind of scroll over again, things are changing on here. It's all black this morning on here. The recording changed, the Twitter feed has changed. Tell a little bird is no longer the blue box. It just kind of says tell a little bird. You know, for it, a little bit different. Hey Steve, hey Jordy. Somebody join me. I'm just sitting here, and Cam Grant joined. We're just talking about getting motivated for the week or the Wednesday. I'm in a fog this morning, so somebody come on here and help me out. This is all about getting motivated. So keep it clean, keep it classy, but share some good tips on getting motivated on this Wednesday, getting in the right mindset.
Sure.
Good morning.
Hi, man.
Okay, Steve is joining us.
Hello there. How are you today?
Hey, Steve. Good morning.
How are you?
How are you doing?
I'm doing very well. Are you feeling bright and breezy this morning?
I am not. I am like, oh. And I don't know. I think you missed the part where I said I need some good tips on gearing up here. Now through December, I will be teaching every night at the college till about 8:30, which means I won't get home till about 9. And then that means I have probably about another hour of returning emails to my online students and just my business clients. So, and I'm not a night owl. So I have to have some, exercise is going to be very important so that I'm not living on sugar and junk
burn out.
to stay. Exactly. So this is the first time it's kind of just all fallen in my lap that way, but I'm welcoming the challenge, but it will be long days because I'm a morning person. So my day typically starts about 4 or 5 a.m. And to be in that work mode until 10 or so, it's going to be a little bit brutal, but.
So this is to 10 to 10 at night. You're going to be 4 a.m. to 10 at night.
Yes.
Are you sure?
Nonstop. I track my day. And when I look at what I did yesterday, I record what I do every hour to see where there's gaps in time of where I wasted time or procrastinated because I don't want to do something. And yesterday there was not 1 minute of dead time. Not 1 minute of dead time. And it's like, okay, I need to start delegating more to my team as far as the business side, but I know nutrition and exercise are going to be a big part of this.
Yeah, and also, I don't know where you stand spiritually, but just allowing yourself time within the week just to be calm. Yeah, get away, physically get away. So I'm a Christian, and yesterday I was reminded very nicely, Psalm 23, the Lord takes you by still waters. And if that's your faith, or if that isn't your faith, anyway, just get by still waters and just chill out.
Yeah.
So if you build in,
no,
sorry,
no, go ahead.
well,
go
just
ahead.
to finish off.
Yeah, I'm a very good Catholic girl, and no, I would say I'm a good Catholic girl. I was away for a while, but we start every blab with Joel Osteen.
That's right.
That's part of my day, getting remotivated in the right mindset.
Yeah, but what I'm saying to you is, on a Sunday or whenever your downtime day is, physically get out to these places. If you've got long days, because otherwise, if you're anything like me, you're going to burn out. I don't want that to happen to you.
I know. And I love what I do. So when I'm in that moment, excuse me, I've got that energy. But being an introvert, a natural introvert, teaching a 4-hour class can be very exhausting in itself. Sure. And then to do 2 a day and then doing every night, that's a lot for my personality. So you're right. I need to build in quiet time.
Literal quiet time. I remember when I was at my most stressed, working for an American bank, aged 30, somewhere around there. My Saturday, and I wasn't married or anything, didn't have a girlfriend at that stage. I just would spend all day in a local part of the New Forest. I would put the bike on the back of the car in the morning and drive out. It wasn't a very long drive. It was a pleasant drive. Get the bike out, cycle around, poodle around, get the newspaper. The whole day was just this utter chill. And then I was okay again for the next week. And that was at the most stressful time, So.
Yeah, that's a good tip, a good reminder, because we get so caught up, and then it's sad when even friends want to do things and you're like, but I have too much work, but you feel like you find yourself getting annoyed that you have to stop working to go take care of the relationship things. And it's like, okay, I've just got to, it's those little, listening to those almost like warning signs that you're in overload.
I hope you don't mind me eating.
You can't do everything.
As I'm on a little mini break. I hope you don't mind me eating in the background. I'll do it quietly.
Nope. Go ahead. Go ahead. I've got my coffee, and I'm glad you jumped on, because or else I was like, I'm just sitting here by myself this morning. But even, part of managing time, I was talking about how I reuse these blabs. We had the great one on Monday, and I'm using that as my newsletter content, posting just a few bullets and the link to the blab. I save them over on YouTube and then over on Pinterest to reshare them, lead attraction strategy. But I've cut back. I was doing them Monday through Friday. I took Fridays. I like being a quiet day.
Yeah.
As that's my day. By Friday, I am really kind of in a fog, and I need not a lot of heavy work. So I stopped doing the blabs on Friday, but now I'm kind of tapering off to just a couple days a week because, again, you have to know your own energy level, and time is money. Everything we do has to have an ROI.
Yeah. I mean, have you?
And I look at some, you get those emails with who's on Blab, and I'm like, when are they working? When are they I can't do the noise. I can't have the Blab on trying to listen. I work in silence.
I do a bit of that, but yeah, eventually, the trouble is I get drawn into the Blab, then I'm not working. But having said that, Janine, I've been on Blab now. I think this is the anniversary, 1 month anniversary today. And last night I made the best contact ever. So 1 month, but we made a great contact last night. Yeah. So
that's good.
From a networking point of view, I wouldn't say it hasn't paid. It won't. Well, no, I won't say won't, but it's not an immediate financial payoff. But it is certainly. I'm going to be interviewed, so about my projects. So that's a big thing for me. We're moving it through to the next stage.
Now, do you find when you're on these blabs, people then connect with you on LinkedIn or Facebook?
Mainly Twitter.
Twitter, okay.
Yeah, because the connection's strong. I mean, I don't know about you, but I sit in on a lot of blabs, okay? And I do tell a little bit. In fact, I haven't done it today. Let's do that. Tell a little bird. And then that's okay. So you share the.
See, they change things up again too on here.
Indeed. I quite like the new look. The first time I saw it, I thought, why? But actually now things are standing out to my eyes better. So I think they've done a good job there. But my point was that you tell a little bird, and then you sat on Blab working, mixing it up. You finish your session. You go back on Twitter. Whoa, there's quite a lot of action now because people are favoriting, and you're favoriting the fact that you're connecting with people. You're sharing a bit of love there.
Yeah.
And just 1 or 2 times now, people have come back and said, well, tell us more about your project. And of course, you get to do that anyway on Blab. I think, it's early days, but I think certainly from a proper connection point of view, where you feel you like somebody, you know that you like somebody, brilliant for that.
Yeah. And I think, like you said, there's a strategy, whether you realize it or not. And it is taking this, then you've got, because you shared it, then now it's highlighted. When people are in the seats, you can go back. I like always when trying to get it, retweet it. So again, you can go back and follow. Sometimes Twitter doesn't let me follow anybody. They'll say, no, you're at a limit. So I add them to a list. I'm big on the list. I have a Blab list. But I like TweetDeck, so then I can add people to my favorites and watch them easier to reshare their tweets and help them that way.
Okay.
But I've had some people immediately after we end a Blab, they're either reaching out on LinkedIn or Facebook.
Okay.
And it's very interesting. Then we'll have maybe a side conversation on something. And it's a good I think it's a good networking. I could see people doing some really good joint ventures.
Yes. From
the Blab connections, whether it's co-hosting a Blab or taking it to a webinar, introducing clients to each other. I see it as a good networking, and it's fun. It's giving, for most part, I think it's really giving, I'm trying to think how to word it. Well, it's giving everyone a product, whether you're the host or jumping on and sharing, it's giving you a product to use in marketing.
Yeah. Well, it's honing your marketing skills as well. Also, the efficiency of, I'd never meet you in real life, probably, but we've met online, and indeed, I meet people all around the world online.
And that's neat.
Quickly.
So we've got some new people. Diana, Ian, Hugh, welcome. Good morning. Jump on board. We're just talking about managing time, managing the Blab time, and it's all about getting ready. For here, it's 6:46 in the morning, so it's about getting motivated for my Wednesday. I've already got my it's a form I created when I first started my business. I call it productivity tracker. It was a combination of, and I can't even remember who, somebody's book with the daily affirmations, your critical six, and then I keep track from 6 a.m. until 2200, what I'm doing every hour. And when I feel like it helps you identify self-sabotage or who's sabotaging your day.
Oh, wow.
And I find when I'm off track and don't know why am I surrounded by stuff and didn't get anything done, I pull this out and do it for about a week. And I use it with my clients and they love it. And it just really makes you hold yourself accountable and stop the dilly-dallying. Like I've got a hot client project, and Monday, my day was hijacked by my college students. I got nothing accomplished I wanted done on Monday. And I just need to realize on Mondays, I get nothing done except college work. That's it. So don't stress myself out thinking I'm going to do business client stuff because it's not happening.
Yeah.
And then yesterday it was okay, prioritize again. I've got to get this done. And I was able to, within an hour, had almost the whole project done. But it was that focus and knowing I have this amount of time. Now today I've got couple of hot things. I need to finish the one project, and another thing I told the reporter, I was asked to do provide some guest comments, expertise on some things for a reporter. So I told her I'd try to have it to her by noon. So, and this is available over on my website, coachjanine.com, for free download. Just because, again, my clients love it. I have a mastermind group. They use it. We've modified it a little bit. But got to know where your time goes. And as Steve said, you have to really build in time to take care of you. I call it self-care.
Yeah.
And if you don't take, you know, and it seems selfish sometimes depending on how you were raised, but you do have to take care of you.
You do. I've burnt out a few times in my life. It's not pleasant.
And it's not pleasant for the people around
No, it's
you.
not. Yeah.
Well, and I always look too, if like I feel like I'm a couple of the college classes I'm teaching, one is not my A game. It's something new, and the textbook changed. It's the second time I'm teaching it. My other one I could do in my sleep, but the textbook changed. So you still got to go in prepared to put on a good, you know, they call it here edutainment. It's not education, it's edutainment. You got to entertain while educating.
Yeah.
And it takes a lot of energy, and then, you know, you got to prepare for it. So
that's why I like YouTube, because then I can muck about and teach at the same time. If I mess up, I can, you know, just edit it, shall we say. But yeah, when you're live like that, well, then people can relate to you more. But well, we're getting how are you from Austin? You know.
Hey, Austin, jump on board. Yeah, I like YouTube I have, if you go over to my YouTube, I've got every college course broken into a playlist with videos. So if I'm having just a different way to connect. Every business has one. The career side of my business has one. Everyone's got a very separate playlist to keep it organized. Now, I need to update some of the photos on there and my welcome. Yeah, it's kind of the cobbler, the shoe repair guys. Kids are always the one without the shoes.
Yeah.
That saying. I know I just butchered it badly, but yeah.
I know what you mean, because
everybody else's social media will be fabulous. Mine will be the one that needs the updating.
Although the upside is we all look younger on our old profile pictures. Because
now I do keep my pictures updated.
Oh, do you?
When I moved to this area in, I think it was 98, there was a realtor in town who has a picture on a billboard in it was already a very outdated photo based on the clothing. That realtor still to this day uses that picture. And I have been always on top of my clients saying, you get your hair cut, you get a new picture. You change your look, you get a new picture. And I started my business in 2006, and I have had, trying to think, probably 5 different professional headshots done. Last one was last year, so it is current, but it did have professional makeup and hair, so it looked great. But there's people that came on board because I always would hold a fall retreat and we would have a photographer come doing headshots for everybody. And people that came to like maybe one of my first ones are still using those. And I'm like, you've aged. Time for a new one. Be real. If I go into a luncheon, I want to be able to pick you out. I want you to be able to know it's me, not still looking like, oh, that's you? Oh.
Well, it's really embarrassing on Blab because I've got multiple IDs. If I'm wearing my marketing hat, I'm HTD Web Marketing. But the trouble is, it pulls in your profile pic from Twitter, and that's a kind of lapsed account that I'm going back to. So I'm what am I? I'm about 10 years younger there. So it's an awful shock. You've got this, really young picture of me, and then I come on like this. It's like, whoa, what happened to you? And I can't change it. Every time I change it, it won't let me.
Yeah, I haven't, and I forget honestly about my Twitter account because I use TweetDeck and I use Social and I was trying to look at this picture, like that's kind of a picture from a while ago. It's not the most current. And I was thinking it was pulling from Google for some reason. And I went back and changed my Google and it was like, why is it still that picture? And I forgot it's Twitter. Yeah. So I need to go back. I need to update too.
Have you seen my Daniel Craig look? Shall I show you my Daniel Craig look? That's not right. It's what people keep telling me anyway. Have you seen that one?
Yes.
Okay.
That's impressive. That gets attention. That looks sharp.
Yeah.
He looks like a smarty pants in that one.
Believe it.
And like you're ready to go out and investigate a crime scene.
Yeah, and in fact, I have mucked about earlier on Blab. Like I was just like, come on, saying hello, and see what kind of reaction I can get. But I've been a bit more sensible since then.
Now, how do you do that picture when you put that one up? How do you do that?
That's ManyCam, MANY cam, one word. It doesn't cost much to buy, and it allows the version that I've bought. Was the kind of most cost-effective one, and I've got here 12. I can have up to 12 feeds. I could have multiple cameras if I've got them. In fact, I've just bought a second camera. I can have different still pictures. I could have videos lined up, which for what I do is going to be essential. Yeah, and he's laughing at the fact that, hey, can I just say, Annie, that's other people saying I look like Daniel Craig. I don't think I look anything like him, but I'll trade off for that one while I can. Yeah, ManyCam, you might benefit from using that.
Yeah, because I've seen you post that before, and I'm like, well, I like that. That looks cool. I think it's professional.
Yeah, I've got some.
And as somebody in the host of the Blab, knowing you're still there listening is comforting that I'm not by myself.
I've never used this one. Let me just pull this one up. This is a first here on Blab. That one.
Ooh.
Yeah. That's. But the thing is, I was going to use that. But the trouble is, then people think, well, why are you occupying a seat? So that's. No, I don't think I'll use that one. The listening's the better. It's sharper, as you say. Ian's joined us.
Well, sometimes you have to get up and refill your coffee cup or
scratch your nose,
answer the door or something, let the dog out.
Indeed. We've got some great people here, Janine. I don't know if you've met them before. Dynamic speaking, a guy called Ian from Australia. And we've got Annie, a writer, a best-selling writer on Amazon, I should say. Have you met these people before?
I have not.
Oh.
Welcome, everybody. Welcome.
Oh, you have.
Okay, we have. Dynamic speaking. Okay. See, and that's the thing, too. Like, when you were... I That's why I need pictures. I'm a visual person. And then now when I click and I see it's Ian, it's like, okay, I remember the name.
Here he comes.
I'm following.
Hello, Ian.
Hey, good morning.
Hello, we've met, Janine. I don't know where your brain must be right now.
I haven't had enough coffee.
I haven't had enough.
I'm still waking up.
You've got to be kind to Janine. She's got long days ahead of her.
Has she?
That's right. Be nice.
Long days.
Wine beats coffee. Yeah. I was thinking that last night when I was in between classes real quick, filling up my water bottle. I thought, I wonder if they'd notice if I put white wine in this water bottle. It would make for a very interesting class to teach.
Vodka's the best.
Is it? Oh, yeah.
Ooh.
Looks like water.
Not vodka and orange,
It
though.
just has a taste.
No.
Orange juice. It's okay. So I just noticed the Blab had a title around mindsets and strategies, and seen the similarity with the Blab I was in previously.
Yeah, we try to start our day in a positive manner, positive mindset. I always start this one with the Joel Osteen, and then we just kind of see where it takes us. And today we've just been kind of just really blabbing. Some days we have really great ones, and other days just fun. But yeah, it's a great way. Talking about the networking is very powerful through Blab.
Yes, Blab's great for networking. We were just bagging Periscope versus Blab an hour ago, I think, in the other one. And yes, relationship is different. With Blab, you build a stronger relationship amongst a core of people. You can build those relationships more strongly. But to blab about the other guys being bad, I think it's just a little bit questionable, because they both have their space. They both serve a purpose. Yeah, and it is a bit egocentric, but I think it's also, as I said over there, and I think it's a valuable point that I haven't mentioned before, so I thought I'd mention it again now, given your comment, is that as speakers and trainers, we learn a lot about the learning style of our students. We know there's the visual, auditory, kinesthetic, audiovisual, olfactory, all that stuff, all that nice theory about them. But what about us? And we actually have our own styles too. And some of us are facilitators. Blab works facilitators. Some of us are tellers, like the old school teacher that pulls their sleeve up and writes on a chalkboard and tells you what you've got to do. We're going to do all the exercises on page 46 of the maths textbook. They're the telling style. Periscope suits that second set, whereas Blab is much more the facilitator, the communicator, the connector, and the teacher is as much a part of the equation as the student. And it's just struck me in the last 6 hours that that's a distinction that I haven't mentioned here, and it's true. We forget that we have our own styles as leaders that leads us to, is Blab better for us or is Periscope better for us? Because if you're a facilitator, Periscope's hard. But if you're a facilitator, Periscope's hard. And that's both ways. Periscope people find Blab hard, Blab people find Periscope hard, because we're different as leaders. Just an interesting thought that I stumbled across in the last few hours.
And I never jumped on the Periscope bandwagon. It just seemed too difficult. And my clients, I always say, I'm not really a techie person. I know what I know, and that's about it. And my clients, so you got to remember your clients, your audience, are they going to embrace it? And guess what? Mine don't embrace it but they'll listen to the replay over from YouTube because they know that one.
Well, there's also early adopters versus late adopters. And we're all early. Like we're bleeding edge 3 months, let's try it. There'll be people that come down the pike 6 months down the track who will go, oh, this is a cool way to look at YouTube stuff. It's all conversation. That suits me better than this chalk and talk that's been in YouTube until now.
I like that. Chalk and talk.
Yeah.
I can write that one down.
That's what the old teaching style was, 50, 100 years ago. Like my grandfather was a great chalk and talker, but did the kids learn any better? Probably not.
Can I just interject with something that it's potentially big news for Blab? I'm still waiting for the first famous person to come on Blab, and I'd be really interested to see what happens. Well, I was talking to Sherry that runs the Jazz Lounge Blab. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
Yep.
And I was saying, I'd love to see Victor Wooten come on here. In my opinion, he's the world's best bass player.
Yep.
And she's saying, yeah, she can get Victor Wooten on here. So I want to be there for that. Wow, famous person suddenly hitting Blab. That'd be amazing.
There was somebody today that popped in, whose name's escaping me right now, and they were quite famous. Let me just do a quick Google history of what I just searched for, because I didn't know who they were.
That's the problem. I was talking to a jazz legend last night. I'd never heard of him, but he's a really nice guy. It's a bit embarrassing. He's played with the greats.
Well, I think that happens almost all the time. I didn't look at the profiles or look up the people that have jumped on this Blab, and I'm like, oh my God, they were like brilliant in their niche, and that's what makes this fun.
Yeah.
I mean, we've had Austin. I don't know if Austin's still on here listening or not. Austin shared great stuff. Steve, you've had great stuff. You all have had great stuff on here. So people...
I have to go through my history to find it, because I looked at Wikipedia to work out who the heck it was. But it was somebody who was very, very well known in their genre. Not for me, but to them. And, yeah, they're coming into Blab slowly, and it'll improve over time. Like we talked, I don't know, 8 or 9 hours ago now, about whether Tony Robbins would use this platform. I think that's a really good test. When would someone who is a big stage speaker go to a bigger stage? And it's interesting because Blab is potentially a global audience at once, whereas he is fantastic doing the UPW or whatever event in a local audience with only 5,000 people.
Yeah.
These platforms will reach more people across more continents, and he won't have to travel.
I don't know what happens to a Blab room, though, when you get 1,000 people. I've never seen it. The most I've ever seen is about 250.
Yeah. I've heard the rumour that it's unlimited, but I'm not sure how we'd walk on fire. I don't think that would work.
Yeah. But this is coming, and, we'll be very familiar with the platform when it does happen.
But we're very intimate. Like right now, we've got 4 people. You can have that chat successfully, and it's very powerful because you have that, not just the 4 of us, but an intimate relationship around the issues that the people in the room have.
I think I prefer that. I don't know about you guys. I don't mind the big audiences, but I like to have the interchange, the conversational interchange.
You can do it
with a bigger audience.
I'm sorry? A real physical room, but here it's easier.
Yeah. Well, I have to be disciplined. My packet of crisps is finished. Oh, I'm not advertising. Let's not show the brand. Really nice to meet you guys again, and I'll see you around.
Oops, I'm advertising.
Have a great day, Steve.
I'm sorry?
I was advertising. Is that bad?
Oh, no, that's good. No, it's third-party advertising. See, I'll just turn it this way.
Okay.
And I'm still advertising. Oh, well.
Yep, and I always try to stay on a time schedule here too. It's time for us to wrap it up, but I'm glad you both jumped on here because I'm just in a slow moving day. It's like, I have got to wake up but Steve, again, your great reminder on I need to make a day of nothing and practice really good self-care.
Still waters.
In order to keep up with the schedule that I've got now through Christmas, because today is only like day 2 of it and I'm already dragging tail.
Yeah.
But I'm so appreciative of everyone jumping on board, who's listening now, listening later, because it's always great information. There's always good nuggets that, we know it, we've heard it before, but we need to hear it again. And I think that's the beauty of this. And I'm already counting down where I can have a glass of wine instead of this coffee. Ian, have a great night, great day. Steve, great day. Enjoy it. And I'll be back tomorrow or whenever I'm back. I don't even know what's on my schedule. I think Friday. So everyone, have a great one.
See you, Jimmy.